very good afternoon to all of you. Let's just continue with the chapter, the Ailing planet, green movement, green movement's role. Okay. So the other day we had started with this chapter, and we know the chapter talks about most important and most pertinent issue that discusses the concerning the health of our planet Earth. Okay, and it talks about, we have discussed the relevance and the importance of the green movement. We have discussed that how the conservation laws, they are being shamelessly flouted, they are not being followed anywhere, and we see that how, who is to be blamed throughout, who is responsible for all this. Who is responsible for the planet's ill health? Speak up. Yes, it is man who is responsible, human beings are responsible for the planet's ill health. And we have discussed about the shrinking forests. We have discussed about the expanding deserts. We have discussed about the deteriorating quality of the soil, water, air, each and everything. And we have also discussed and also the chapter talks about whether we have a moral right to leave behind a scorched planet of advancing deserts and impoverished landscape of badly depleting the environment of and our planet of all its natural resources, or should we do something before it gets too late. So we have discussed all these points, and we have to continue from, I think, page number, there's no Lavneet C1. C1 section को तो मैं पढ़ाती नहीं हूँ. So we were on page number 46. He said that one of the major reasons, most important reasons for all this is the growth of human population. Okay, and then we talked about how it took mankind more than a million years to reach the first billion, and then in the next 100 years the second billion was added, and now every 4 days, when this article was written, it was published in the Indian Express in the year 1994. At that point of time, in that year, every 4 days, the world population increased by 1 million. So he says fertility falls as incomes rise, education spreads, and health improves. Why? Because people with education, people become more aware, and therefore development is the best contraceptive. How? Because with education, people become aware that it is not good to have more children. It is not that more children will give you more working hands. More children will mean what? More children will mean more unemployment, more poverty. Okay, so but development itself may not be possible if the present increase in number, if the growth of population keeps on increasing, it keeps on exploding like this, then development is not at all, it may not be possible at all. Okay, so the rich get richer and the poor beget children, which condemns them to remain poor. So there is a wide gap, there is a huge gap between the haves and the have-nots. Okay, he says the rich are getting more and more rich, the poor are getting more poor. More children, this is what I already told you, more children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. Okay, so we have any Abhinav in our class? In any of the sections? Abhinav hai koi? Who's Abhinav? आई डोंट थिंक सो. B1 में कोई अभिनव तो नहीं है, मुझे नहीं लगता. ठीक है. So more children does not mean more workers, it simply means more people without work. That means more unemployment. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized, but there is no alternative to voluntary family planning. So it is the responsibility of each and every one to follow. you know I keep on being disturbed by these students. I don't know who all they are और कहाँ से इनको ये लिंक मिलता है. सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम तो ये है कि लिंक तो आप लोगों के पास ही जाता है और इमीडिएटली आप पता नहीं किसको लिंक भेज देते हो, ये कौन ज्वाइन करने की कोशिश करता है. ठीक है. सो विदाउट इंट्रोड्यूसिंग एन एलिमेंट ऑफ कोअर्शन. व्हाट इज कोअर्शन? What is coercion? Yes, what is coercion? Page number 46, fourth paragraph, third last line. What do you mean by coercion? With force, yes. Without making it without making it as a kind of a compulsion, without forcing anything on anyone, we need to voluntarily start this family planning. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. What is perpetuation? No, whether you have this strong belief that you are going to, okay, it's okay that have a poor country, we have more poor people. No, or you have, or you believe that we should have a control on population so that so that development is possible. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million today. ये आज की बात नहीं है, ये कब की बात है? कितनी बार बताया मैंने आपको, ये कब की बात है? 1994 की. More than the entire populations of Africa and South America put together. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments unless population control is given topmost priority. So the growth of population, it is the topmost concern today is population. So what needs to be done? Because if population keeps on increasing like this, then population definitely, this over increase in population, it puts a severe strain on what does it put strain on? What does this overpopulation, this tremendous growth in population, this exploding population, what does it put strain on? किसके ऊपर strain डालता है ये? बोलो. On the resources, on our principal biological systems. ठीक है? So इतना ज़्यादा pressure होता है, इतना ज़्यादा strain होता है that it reaches an unsustainable level. Okay? So for the first time in human history, we see a transcending concern. What is transcending? What is transcending? Transcending concern. Transcending क्या होता है बेटा? The unusual, beyond the usual levels. Okay, so that is the survival not just of the people but of the planet. पहली बार हम क्या सोच रहे हैं, that हमने कल भी पढ़ा था, that this earth is a living being. We have to we have reached a stage where we have started feeling, human beings have started feeling that earth is also a living being, and it has its own vital and metabolic needs which need to be protected and which need to be preserved. Okay, we have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. It is our passport for the future. The emerging new world vision. Emerging new world vision क्या है? It has ushered in the era of responsibility. What do you mean by usher in something? उस चीज को usher करना means उसको लेके आना. It has introduced an era of responsibility. It is a holistic view, an ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a dissociated collection of parts. हम पूरे world को कैसे देखते हैं? That it is a holistic and it is an integrated whole. अलग-अलग pieces में बटा हुआ नहीं है. It is one whole, and if we work together towards improving our environment, towards improving our ecology, only then we would be able to develop in the true sense of the word. Industry has a most crucial role to play in this new era of responsibility. What a transformation would be effected if more businessmen shared the view of the chairman of DuPont, Mr. Edgar S. Woolard, who 5 years ago declared himself to the company's chief environmental officer. तो ऑथर क्या बोल रहा है कि इतनी बड़ी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, रेडिकल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आ जाएगी अगर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट अपने आप को इन्वायरमेंट से रिलेट करेंगे. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस पर्सन, द चेयरमैन ऑफ डूपॉन्ट, इज अ मेजर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट, इज अ businessman, and he had declared himself as the company's chief environmental officer. ठीक है, so this is the emerging new world. This emerging new world, it is spelling a hope for everybody, where businessmen like Edgar S. Woolard, they have desired, they have opined, they have propounded to take responsibility of the planet. Okay, he said our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance. कि हम अगर लीडिंग मैन्युफैक्चरर हैं तो हमने किस चीज़ का साथ में ध्यान रखना है? We have to work towards improving our environment. Of all the statements, underline the this statement is very, very important. Of all the statements made by Margaret Thatcher during the years of her prime ministership, none has passed so. Margaret Thatcher कहाँ की prime minister थी? Yes. Yes, England. None has passed so decisively into the current coin of English usage as her fallacious words. Fallacious means very well expressed words. ठीक है, ये इन्होंने क्या statement दी थी? Underline the statement. No generation has a free hold on this earth. All we have is a life tenancy with a full repairing lease. Underline this, this is very, very important. She said no generation has a free hold on this earth. मतलब हमने अर्थ को अपनी प्रॉपर्टी नहीं समझना है कि हम इसको जैसे मर्जी यूज करें. हम क्या हैं यहाँ पे? We have to behave as if we are the tenants living here. We have a life tenancy on this planet with a full repairing lease. मतलब ये हमने एक जैसे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया होता है, रेंटल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है कि अगर आप कुछ खराब करोगे तो उसको आप जैसे आप अपने घर में कोई चीज़ लाते हो और आप उसको बहुत वैल्यू करते हो, आपके लिए वो बहुत वैल्यूएबल होती है, आप उसको कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाते. अगर आप कहीं पर रेंट पे रह रहे हो, ठीक है, तो वो फुल रिपेयर, आपने एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन किया. वो क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है कि अगर आपसे कुछ नुकसान होगा तो आप उसकी पूरी भरपाई करोगे, उसको पूरा प्रॉपर रिपेयर करा के दोगे. तो ऐसे ही अगर हमने अपने एनवायरनमेंट को किसी तरह का कोई नुकसान पहुंचाया है या अगर हम पहुंचा रहे हैं, देन वी हैव टू रिपेयर इट. वी हैव टू प्रिजर्व इट, वी हैव टू कंजर्व इट, एंड इफ वी अगर हम कुछ ऐसा करते हैं तो हमने उसको रिपेयर करना है. ठीक है, सो वी हैव टू नॉट use the resources according we have to not use the resources according to our wants. We have to use them according to our needs. क्योंकि आपकी जो नीड है, आपकी जो नेसेसिटी है वो कम है, आपकी जो वांट है, आपकी डिजायर है वो कितनी भी हो सकती है. तो अगर आप ओवर यूज करोगे, ओवर एक्सप्लॉइट करोगे तो वो सस्टेनेबल लेवल कभी भी अचीव नहीं होगा. हमने सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की डेफिनेशन क्या पढ़ी थी बच्चे? What was the definition of sustainable development? That development that meets the needs of the present without compromising on the ability of the future generation to meet their needs. Needs meet करनी है हमने, wants नहीं. ठीक है, जो necessity है उतना ही use करो, over exploit नहीं करना हमने environment को. So this is very, very important. And in the words of another important statement, in the words of Lester Brown, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. हमें ये अपने पूर्वजों से नहीं मिली है. ठीक है, we have not inherited it. कोई प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है जो हमने इनहेरिट की है, but we have borrowed it from our children. उसका क्या मतलब है? Again the same thing. What do you mean by this? That we have borrowed it from our children. What do you mean by this? That we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, but we have borrowed it from our children. Yes? Speak up. Yes. Yes. We have to keep it safe for the future generation so that they can also use it wisely. Okay? So we have to preserve it. We have to follow all the conservation laws, everything, in order to maintain a balance and in order to use each and everything within the sustainable limits to maintain the sustainable level. Okay? Got it? Follow? So understanding the text, first question is locate the lines in the text that support the title The Ailing Planet. So the ailing planet means the planet which is sick, which is not well, which is a diseased planet. So find out lines from the text which support this title. How do you know that the author says that this is an ailing planet? What are the lines from the text which support this title? Find out lines and tell me. We have completed the chapter. Now you need to tell me the lines which support this title, The Ailing Planet. Second paragraph, first line. The Earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. Okay, this is one. Another one is, towards the end of this page, we have another one. Say it again, Kamna. End of this page, page number 44, it's written, are we to leave our... Hear me? Am I audible? Yes. Are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes and ailing environments? ठीक है, और इसके अलावा What else? If you just come to page number 46, you will find an example there also. Examples are there on page number 46 as well. Batao? Yes, yes. A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the UN warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. Critical halat mein hai. Okay? So this shows that it is an ailing planet. It's an ailing um, environment. Okay. So these are some of the examples which suggest this and support the title, the ailing planet. Next is, what does the notice the world's most dangerous animal at a cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia signify? क्या importance है इस notice की? Where it is written, yes, Neha, is man. So what does it mean? How is man the most dangerous animal? What does it mean? Yes, that we are exploiting and that human beings are solely responsible for all kinds of damages or all kinds of deterioration in the environment, or for the depletion, for the overuse of natural resources which has led to their depletion. Okay, and thus man is considered to be the world's most dangerous animal. How are the Earth's principal biological systems being depleted? बताओ? How are the Earth's principal biological systems being depleted? कौन से हैं principal biological systems? पहले तो ये नाम बताओ मुझे. What are the 4 principal biological systems? Yes. Fish, very good. Fisheries, forests, grasslands, and croplands. Okay, so what has happened because of indiscriminate use, because of overuse, because of our claims over these biological systems? What has become? We have reached a level? We have reached an unsustainable level. Okay, so their productivity is being hampered. Excessive overuse, overfishing is there because we have read about that the fact that we are living in a world which is protein hungry and protein conscious. So because of that there is overfishing, and because of overfishing what is happening? Fisheries are collapsing. Okay, and then forests are disappearing. What is coming in place of forests? क्या change हो रहे हैं वहाँ पे? Deserts बन रहे हैं. ठीक है? ठीक है, डेजर्ट्स आप बन गए हैं, ग्रासलैंड्स आर गेटिंग कन्वर्टेड इनटू व्हाट? Barren wasteland. And then croplands, the condition of croplands is also not good, they are deteriorating. देखो, ठीक है? So therefore, because of this and because of that, whatever has happened with tropical forests, because tropical forests are the powerhouse of what? Evolution. So several species are on the verge of extinction. Why? Because of the destruction of tropical forests. Okay, so because of all these reasons, all these 4 biological systems are being depleted. Why does the author aver that growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society? कैसे है ये? How is growth of world population one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society? बताओ? How and why is that so? How is the growth of world population one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society? अभी मैंने आपको बताया था वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन जब इंक्रीज होती है. Speak up. What happens when the world population, how is this factor responsible for distorting the future of human society? बताओ. Yes, exploitation of resources. So it puts a strain on, first of all, it puts a strain on all our major biological systems. Okay, so due to excessive human claims, what is happening to these biological systems? We have reached a level which is unsustainable, and the productivity of all these 4 biological systems is being hampered, it is being damaged. Okay, so development is not possible with this rate of population. So what is happening? It is leading to hunger, it is leading to poverty, and it is leading to unemployment. Okay, so that is why it is distorting the future of human society. Okay, next question is discuss. Laws are never respected nor enforced in India. We have discussed examples of this without. Laws are never respected nor enforced in India. कौन से laws हैं, किसकी बात की है हमने यहाँ पे? that they are never respected and they are not enforced. They're neither respected nor enforced in our country. Bolo? Yes, bonded labor, uh, caste system, untouchability. All these are the constitution says, and there's so many others also. But we have talked about these. That Constitution, Article 48A of the Constitution says that, and we have talked about this article also, that the state shall endeavor to do what? To protect and safeguard the environment, but nothing is happening. And then we talk about various laws like laws ban on child labor, bonded labor, and then but still these things are flourishing in many of the corners of our uh, country. Are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and an ailing environment? ये हमने कितनी बार डिस्कस कर लिया? How many times have we discussed it? Over exploiting, if we keep on plundering the earth of its natural resources to meet the demands, to meet the wants of our society, of our present generation, then there would be no choice left with the future generations. Okay, they would not be left with much of the natural resources. Forest lands would definitely be converted into wastelands. So, is this what we would be leaving? This is the legacy that we will be leaving for our future generations. Okay, so global warming जो बढ़ रही है, ये भी किसकी वजह से हो रही है? Ozone depletion हो रही है, ये सब किसकी वजह से हो रहा है? Who is responsible? Who is behind all this? This climate change. Human beings. Okay, so it would mean what? With the passage of time, it would mean more droughts, it would mean the disappearance of coral reefs, it would mean the melting of glaciers. This is happening. Okay, and this would also mean the extinction of species. So it is high time that we have to think, we have to ponder over this fact, and we have to do something before it gets too late. Therefore, we have to adopt, we have not just talk about it, but we have to adopt a holistic approach towards the economic development, towards our environment, so that it sustains all forms of life. Next is, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, but we have borrowed it from our children. ये भी हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं. हाँ जी, बोलो महक. Okay, so it forms the statement. It reminds us of our responsibility, the moral, ethical responsibility that we have towards our environment, towards our ecosystem, towards this planet, and towards the future generations. Okay, so we have to live on a system not based on domination, but on a system based on partnership. Okay, we have to think that we are living in partnership with all the other life forms that we have. So there's so many life forms, and there's still so many which are uncatalogued. ठीक है, इतने मिलियन स्पीशीज कैटलॉग्ड है 1.4, पर इसके अलावा अनकैटलॉग्ड हमने सबके बारे में सोचना है. वी टू थिंक ऑफ ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड वी हैव टू डेवलप अ होलिस्टिक अप्रोच टुवर्ड्स आवर इकोसिस्टम. ठीक है, द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ ओवर पॉपुलेशन दैट डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट आवर एवरीडे लाइफ. बताइए आपको कौन सी प्रॉब्लम है वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन की, ओवर पॉपुलेशन की, जो डायरेक्टली अफेक्ट करती है हमारी एवरीडे लाइफ. कौन सी प्रॉब्लम्स है? इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम्स है, कौन सी हैं? बताओ स्पीकर. Yes. Poverty, unemployment, hunger. So these are the, and you can elaborate upon all these. This is a general question. These are the general problems that directly affect our everyday life. ठीक है? ये चैप्टर समझ में आ गया आपको? Have you followed this chapter? सबको ठीक है, good if you have followed it. Send you uh, an assignment also on the of this chapter, so that you can do it and we can discuss it. ठीक है? Got it? You have to do NCERT questions. You have to do all these that we have discussed today. ये तो आप कर ही लो, बाकी assignment बाद में भेजूंगी मैं आपको. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 questions. Understanding the text and talking about the text. All these 8 जो हमने 8 के 8 डिस्कस किए वो तो करने ही करने हैं. इसके अलावा एक छोटी सी असाइनमेंट और है. Today is 17. Yes. D1, roll number 1.